So yeah, the online components like the messages and the bloodstains and all that, I think that must have been tricky from the developer's standpoint, being able to implement something like that at all. So I'm going to try to explain the S-stock here that I picked up down below. We'll be using that later on for a boss, a very specific boss. And its damage is not as good as the sword I have right now, but I like to use it against this boss because of its different attacks. Again, it's all about the utility of the attacks that you have and not the damage that they do. So just a lot of regular enemies up here. This is the main path that you should take when starting the game. This will be the easiest way to continue through. And plus, all the enemies up here are the standard hollows that you already know. So there's a guy up here throwing fire bombs, no big deal. It's a little bit frightening, I guess, but if you time it right, if you go slowly up the stairs, you can figure out how far he can throw them, and then you can run through up there to attack him when he's in between throws, basically. And I should have tried to parry one of those guys just to show you what it was like. I think I left one guy alive, so I'll try to parry him just so I can show what that is. Did I leave a guy? Yeah, there's a guy. Okay, good. So I'm going to try to parry him. Yep, there we go. And that is a parry and a riposte. And for most low-level enemies like this, that's a one-hit kill. And even as we would continue playing the game, upgrading our equipment or leveling up, that can continue to be a one-hit kill. Now there's an item here on this bridge I'm going to run over. Running is, or doing the jump is a little difficult. Basically, you hold the B button down. You hold the B button down to sprint, and to jump, you have to already be sprinting and then hit the B button again while sprinting. That is the only way to jump like that. Now the Ring of Sacrifice is the item I picked up. And if you put that on, you will not suffer any ill effects from dying. It protects you from doing that, but the ring will break after that happens one time. So you want to use that when you really need to, when you're in a dire situation. And here's a rat. Oh! Ooh! Okay, that's not good. He's never done that to me before. The rat, usually when you walk in here, the rat will just turn his back to you, and you can just hit him and kill him right away without trying too hard. But he got me right away, and he poisoned me on one hit, and I've never seen that before. I didn't even know he could do that. Most status effects like getting poisoned, or there are others like toxic and bleeding and being cursed. Status effects like that, there's a bar that you might have seen, yeah, right there. There's a bar there, and as you get attacked by something that is trying to inflict those status ailments on you, that'll slowly fill up. Once it fills up, you then have poisoning or toxic or whatever. But until it gets filled up, it doesn't affect you yet. You're just in danger of it. And most enemies, it'll take 2 or 3 attacks like that before you're affected by it. That's the first time I've ever seen a rat, especially a rat, inflict poisoning on one hit. I learned something new today. So here we go. I'm going to continue forward in the game through the white fog wall, which I'll talk about in a second. But first, fucking dragon! We'll meet that dragon again later. So the white fog walls, I should explain this here. We've already gone through a few of them, and what they are, it's kind of a warning to the player of like, hey, you're going into this new area now. Or it's a warning that you're about to step into a boss fight. So every time you see that, the game is actively warning you there's something up ahead that you need to prepare for. And I tried to just run past these guys here to go up the stairs, but that failed. He was blocking the stairs, so I just decided to fight him. And here's a door. That door would not be... We would not be able to open that if we did not have the master key for our item. which is why I recommend picking that up right away at the beginning of the game when you make your character, because you'll be able to get equipment and items that you would otherwise not be able to get for a while. It just helps you out. It's a much larger help than all the other items because of that. Because if I remember right, aside from a couple of rings that you can decide to have, all of the other items are consumables, and once you use them up, they're gone forever. Whereas the Master Key and the 2 rings you keep for a while, but the Master Key's the best. So here we go. This is the other mechanic of a bonfire that I could not show off earlier. But when you use a bonfire, aside from healing you and getting rid of status ailments like being poisoned, which you saw now, aside from that, he just missed me close up. That was a point-blank shot and he totally missed it. That's fantastic. Anyway, aside from doing all those things for you, bonfires will also respawn all of the enemies in the game. So, say you're going through a really difficult area and you know that you can backtrack to a bonfire because you're running low on health, you're low on Estus, and you need to heal up. If you go back to that bonfire, you will get full health, you'll get all of your Estus back, but it will also respawn all of those enemies. So you have to keep in mind, okay, is it going to be worth it to go back there and heal up, or should I just continue forward and finish this area and get to the next bonfire? The game is constantly having you think about not only combat and how to fight the enemies, but also what to do about the bonfires and how you should go through areas. And there I read a message and it said that there was a hidden enemy up here, so we're going to take care of him by parrying him because he's going to die like that. I don't know. I'm not very good at parrying these early enemies for the most part. There are other enemies later on that are much more difficult to fight, but I'm better at parrying. I don't know why. I guess it's just how I notice the attacks. The timing for parrying is very precise. You have to be very good at it to be able to do it properly. There are partial parries where you'll take damage, but the enemy won't be parried, but you'll hit him for slightly more damage than usual. And then there's a full parry, which is what you've been seeing me do. Now that orange sign soapstone that I bought, that will allow us to write our own messages and rate the messages of other people. So I bought it because I'll probably leave messages as we play this game for others. And I bought a bow, and let's buy some arrows. We'll need those in a second. Well, not a second. We'll need those in a few minutes from now. And he also sells some armor, but I hate that armor. I've never even bothered looking at the stats of it because I put it on once and I just hated how it looked and I didn't care after that. I don't know how many arrows to buy. I'll probably stick with some huge number though, just because I don't know how many it's going to take for what we're going to do here.
Thank you, kind.
Now this merchant is undead just like we are. And I don't know a good camera angle to help show his face, but he's in way worse shape than we are. So there's that orange stream above my head right now. If you're in an area where somebody kindles a bonfire, you get an extra Estus. And kindling a bonfire is just offering a humanity when you rest at one, and it increases the amount of Estus it gives you from 5 to 10 whenever you rest at it. So if you're just lucky enough to be in an area where somebody else playing online does it, you get rewarded with a free Estus just for being there. And I think that's pretty cool. Everything in the game, from leaving messages to the bonfire kindling aspect of it, every single thing in the game like that just encourages the community to help each other out instead of being douchebags. And that's awesome, because from all of the games that I've played online, this community for Dark Souls is maybe one of the most helpful of all of them, because everybody understands how difficult the game is and how, like, I needed help when I was playing this game in the beginning, and I got help from people, so I'm going to help others as well. Everybody understands that. We all have that mindset. Now the crossbow I picked up there, you use oh hey, there's a guy. You use crossbows with the strength stat. That is what determines your ability to use crossbows and how well you are at it, how good you are at it. The dexterity stat affects regular bows, like a longbow or a compound bow, stuff like that. So if you're doing a dexterity build, you want to use longbows. If you're doing a strength build, you want to use the crossbow. And you might not even want to use either of those, regardless of the build that you're doing, because you don't plan on using ranged combat at all. And that's fine. It's all up to you. I generally don't do ranged combat. I will for a little bit later on, just to show you guys a secret. Most people that have played the game already know about the secret, but it's still cool to point out for all the people that have not played the game. And we're back here in this area. You might recognize it. And I'm going to go down here, show this area. Some people don't know about this when they play the game for the first time, so that's why I'm pointing it out. There's this cool area, and there's this cool door right here. You walk inside, there's a guy. I think it's a consumable soul. Yep, okay. And up ahead here, there are going to be some hollows hanging over this ledge, and they're going to try to ambush. See, they climbed up. And whatever, it's just 2 of them. That's not much of an ambush. I can handle that. So there we go. No big deal, really. We're going to continue onward. There's another ambush up ahead in this next area. But the cool thing is you can see them hanging right there. So if you hit them once, they'll just fall. No big deal. The other 2 do make it over. And they'll come at me in a second. Yeah, okay. I thought there was 2. Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. If you know it's coming, it's not that bad. And I don't know why you wouldn't know it's coming, because you can see them hanging off the edge. And then there's a pile of rubbish that I picked up. The rubbish is... It's rubbish, really. It does have a use in the game, but I can't remember what it is. And it's, if I can remember correctly, it's not a big deal anyway. And there we go. There's another enemy. I don't know where he came from, though. I have no idea why he's there. So we're just going to keep moving. We've already been through here. Oh, hey. There we go. I don't know how I missed that the first time. I was probably just panicking because I was poisoned and I just wanted to get to the bonfire. So, if you noticed during that earlier fight, I was able to attack while getting hurt. And for the most part, you don't do that. You get hit, you'd get knocked back, or you're blocking with your shield or whatever. The poise statistic on the right column at the very top, if it's high enough, you can keep moving and attacking through getting hurt. It's not something I generally pay attention to, because I only care about that if I'm going to do PvP. Because you can't affect that stat by leveling up. You can only affect that stat by the equipment that you're wearing, the quality of the armor, basically. So here we go, all the enemies respawn. We're going to continue onward, and I'm just going to bait him in here so that I don't attract unwanted attention while I fight him. And I'm sorry about rambling. I really am. I feel like I'm rambling, and it's because there's just so much to cover when talking about this game. There is so much to explain, so much to talk about, that rambling is just kind of going to happen. And I picked up a Titanite shard from that enemy, which I was not expecting. It's kind of it's an uncommon thing for them to drop that. Okay, and those guys throw firebombs, and as you notice, they hit the edge of the bridge. So I know how far they can throw just by watching that, and I know that I can avoid it by running on the bridge. Just running on the bridge is not going to hurt me. So here we go, we have a big group of 3 enemies, so I'm just going to constantly circle the entire group until I can get a backstab on one of them. Because once you backstab, you're invincible while in the process of backstabbing an enemy. Which you saw that guy swing his axe, and went right through me, it didn't do anything to me. And the same thing goes with parrying and riposting. If you get a riposte, and if I'm pronouncing that wrong, just let me know. I'll change the way I say it. But if you riposte someone, you are also invincible during that period of time as well. So if you're facing a group of enemies, the best thing that you can do is get backstabs and parry and riposte, because you don't need to worry about taking damage while you do it, and it's just going to be the best way to get through a fight. The tricky part is getting close enough to the group of enemies to do that safely. That's the only tricky thing about it. So there we go. This is all. These are all the guys down here, I think. Yeah, I thought there was another item here, but it's a different house up ahead that has the item I'm looking for. And there's a group of 3 up here. The guy in the back throws firebombs, so I'm just going to run up behind him and backstab him right away. Another thing about backstabs I should explain is that I shield normally when I'm strafing, and that's just so that if they swing a weapon, get an attack on me that would hit me, I'm prepared for it. But to backstab, you actually have to let go of the shield button, then hit the attack button to do a backstab. If you're holding the shield button down while you try to backstab, you won't do a backstab, you'll just do a regular swing. So it's another thing that you need to think about while you're in combat. And that's one of the things that I like about the game, really, is that there are so many different attacks that you can do, so many different move sets for you to learn, and not only learn them, but you have to be able to implement them in combat effectively. This is not a button masher. You cannot get through combat just by hitting the attack button over and over, or shielding until you think, oh, I can swing now and I'll be totally fine. You actually have to keep track of what the enemy's doing, you have to watch their movements, and you have to think in your head, which attacks do I have that I can use here, aside from my regular one, that would be totally effective. And right there, these guys like to shield a lot they're holding a spear. They like to shield a lot. It's kind of annoying. So if I don't have a way to circle them to backstab them, I will hit their shield with my sword, and they will see me getting off balance from my sword being deflected, and they will attack me while I'm off balance. But I use that as an opportunity just to get them. That's one way that you can take them on. And here I picked up a piece of armor, so I'm going to try to show something. So this is my full set of armor. That's my dodge roll right now because of how much it all weighs. So now I'm going to put on the Hollow Warrior armor here. And you see my roll is still, and you'll see my roll is a little bit faster. And that's what I was trying to explain earlier about how equipment is constantly affecting how you move in the game. And you have to pay attention to that. So down here, there's a really difficult enemy. I do not recommend fighting him normally, but I want to show him off. And I usually fail this backstab, but I'll try to do it. I usually fail it. Yep, failed. Okay. And this is another reason why I took off that armor, is because this guy is super difficult to beat, so I need to be as fast as possible to be able to dodge what he does to me. So here he comes. Yeah, he's going to follow me all the way up here. And he's very, very difficult. You'll see if I can get a backstab. There we go. The backstab does not do a lot of damage. He has so much health and so much defense from that armor that he's a very difficult enemy for new players and people that have just base equipment. And so the main way to fight these guys is to try to circle around them and get a backstab. That's the main tactic that you're going to want to employ here while fighting them. They are also susceptible to being parried, like every other enemy in the game. So you can try to parry them. However, I don't think I'm going to try doing that at all during this fight, just because I know that if I miss a parry, they're going to do a lot of damage to me. Like that. They're going to do a lot of damage, and it's not in my best interest to try to parry them. So I'm just going to keep circling around for backstabs. Yeah, I mean, oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to have a good time to heal. If I can get a backstab, I can heal, I know, but I don't know what I can do without getting a backstab. Damn it. I'm also not very good, as you can see with, oh no, okay. I'm also not very good at, okay, Estes up here, there we go. I'm also not very good at figuring out where to be behind them to get a proper backstab. The angle is important with these guys. And apparently it's been long enough since I've played that I can't remember exactly where I need to be. And also when they're recovering from their attacks, you know, it kind of changes their position. So I just kind of have to guess. There we go. Okay, Estus up. Now we're good. We're good to go again. We're good to go. There's another one. And see, you can get a good string of backstabs like that sometimes, if you're lucky. And that takes so much stamina. Jesus. And every now and then you'll get lucky, they'll drop a good item for you. So, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to try to parry them, maybe. Parry this guy, maybe, to finish the fight. Steve, parry! Yes! Okay. Now I'm good. I'm good. Whew. That was going to be my last hurrah. I just wanted to end it for you guys. Whether I died or lived, I just wanted that to be over. So here we go. There we go. We're good. We're good. So he was guarding this item down here called the Blue Tearstone Ring. And I generally don't use it, but, I mean, hey, it's a ring. I'm at the beginning of the game. I don't have any other items. Why not? I'll probably equip it. Maybe. We'll see. So, a cool thing about that Black Knight is that being at a bonfire, like I said earlier, will respawn all of the enemies, as well as healing you, right? Well, there are certain enemies in the game that are not considered normal enemies, and they will not respawn when you rest at a bonfire. That Black Knight is one of those enemies, so he will not be there after I go back and heal up at the bonfire. The first time you play the game, you know, there's no way to tell. The game does not tell you which enemies are the ones that don't respawn. You just find out. I know because I played before. So, this is another part of the game that some people might find annoying, some people might like a lot, is that it's a game mechanic and it's highly encouraged that when you rest at a bonfire, go through an area, keep resting at that bonfire and going through the area multiple times just to collect souls, because you can use those souls to level up and upgrade your equipment, you know. So it's just part of the game to farm souls that way. If you're used to RPGs, you should be used to that concept, and you should be used to having a farm. So in the future, hopefully I'll just edit those parts out because I don't want to bore you guys by constantly going through the same areas over and over again. I will do a sort of recap where I'll explain I farmed here for a while and I collected these items, yada yada yada. And I will try to show every moment that I upgrade a piece of equipment or that I level up, though. I will try to show all of that, because that's important stuff for you guys to know. So here I kind of fail. I fail here. Ugh. I didn't do that right. I didn't go the way I normally do to backstab the guy. I knew it was going to fail right away. I knew it. There we go. Okay, that's over. We're good. Crossbow guy here at the top of the tower. We're good. Yeah, there we go. And down here, yep, okay, there we go. I normally go slowly down those stairs just to pick them off one at a time, so to speak. The guys with spears will generally not come at you very fast. The guys with the swords will. So I try to take out the sword guys first, if I can. Yep, and there's a backstab. Perfect. And I don't know. I'm kind of, at this point, I don't really know what to talk about because I've already explained these enemies and this area. Just picking up equipment and stuff. So the Black Knight's not there anymore, so we can continue up these stairs. Now at these stairs, this guy wants to be Donkey Kong. There's a big barrel there, and he's just going to light it on fire and send it down. But you can dodge it. And the next time, if you go to a bonfire again and you come back through this area, that barrel will not be there anymore. You don't have to worry about that every single time. And I come up here, and there's a door that you can unlock with the master key. And you could go down there, But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do that later. And I highly recommend that that's how everybody should do that, because there's a very, very difficult enemy that's basically a mini boss at the bottom of that stairway that the door opens up to. And there's no way that you're prepared for it right now at this level. Here we go. Okay, this is something I was really hoping would happen. That is called a crystal lizard, and if I can kill it here... Oh, God, it's running away. They drop rare items for you. If you kill... Oh, Jesus Christ, hit him! There we go. You kill them, they drop Twinkling Titanite, or some other form of Titanite, and all Titanite are used for upgrading your weapons. So, if you find a crystal lizard... That is amazing. You are well on your way to being able to upgrade your equipment faster and easier than you otherwise would. So climb up here quick, and there are two guys up here. One has a crossbow, the other one's got a sword. We're going to take them out. See, there we go. The arrow doesn't hit me because I was already in the process of backstabbing somebody. Again, showing the invincibility of that move and why it's such a good idea to use it as often as you can. So the white fog wall, symbolizing a new area of the game, and I think we can see it from here. Yeah, there's another fog wall at the very end of this walkway, and that means that we're in a boss area. If you're blocked by fog walls from escaping, you're in a boss area. So this gold pine resin that we picked up earlier, I'm going to apply that to my weapon by hitting the X button on it, because this boss is weak against lightning attacks, and I know that from experience. So we're gonna let him jump down. We're gonna run back, climb up this ladder, and he'll be coming up here pretty soon. Yep, there he is. And I'm going to two-hand the weapon and do a plunging attack off of this. And that is the way that I recommend starting the fight off. Now, once we're down on the floor, you'll see that I just get right up close, because his attacks, for the most part, will either go over us, or I can just block it easy. But I'm right there to keep on attacking him. Now, oh shit! And that fight was going so well, too. Okay, so I died. It was my first time dying while recording, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm actually surprised it took this long, to be perfectly honest. I usually make a stupid mistake before now to ruin it. So that's the danger of fighting the Taurus Demon there. Because if you get up close to him, he's kind of a chump, and he's kind of a pushover. But he can knock you off the edge, and just you're dead instantly, and there's nothing that you can do about it. And to be perfectly honest, I was kind of stupid for backing up that far, because I knew there were gaps on that side, and I knew that there was one there, so I was kind of stupid for doing it in the first place, because I gave him that opportunity. I gave him that opening. And that's another beautiful thing about Dark Souls, is that the game is difficult. Don't get me wrong, it's very difficult, but the game does everything in its power to not be cheap about it. Like, when you die, you feel like it's your fault. You don't feel like it's the game's fault. And that's wonderful. I cannot express how awesome that is. Because every time that I die, I learn from it. I actually learn how I can avoid that happening again in the future. Now, I'm going to try to kill these guys before that fourth guy comes up. That I drew from the crossbow guy, that area. I don't know. Nope, he's here. Never mind. I thought he might have given up on following me. That's another thing about the game. If an enemy is coming after you, there are points where if you get far enough away, they stop following you, and I use that in some areas of the game. Now I'm gonna try to do this. Nope, never mind. It's not gonna happen the right way. Oh, maybe. Okay, yeah. I guess I will do it the right way. There we go. Now, I don't know where that guy came from, though. Jeez. There we go. There we go. So, the guys throwing firebombs, actually, I drew aggro from them somehow, and they're attacking me over here. That normally doesn't happen. So I don't know what I did to make them so pissed off at me. But, yeah, okay. I think actually I'm going to go up here to the top of the tower. I'm going to try to take them out with a bow. just so I can show off the archery aspect of the game, the ranged combat. So I'm going to equip a bow here. Oh, okay. I don't have the proper stats to use it yet, so my dexterity must be low enough where I can't. But my strength is apparently high enough to use the crossbow. So, what? Okay. Okay, well that's weird. I should be able to hit the left bumper to, like, look down, for lack of a better phrase, to scope up on it. But apparently you can't do that with crossbows, so I'm not going to be able to fire arrows at these guys anyway. Okay, I'll just skip it. I'm going to S this up here, and I'm going to continue on and take out these guys quick. I actually did not know that about crossbows. I generally don't use them, so I don't know why I bothered trying, actually. I generally don't use ranged combat ever. And I'm only making an exception for this video just because I want to show you guys something cool. Although, I guess there are areas in the game where I could use archery to make it slightly easier on myself. So I'm gonna try to get back to the Taurus Demon. I'm gonna kill him, and that'll probably be the end of this recording session. We'll see if I do anything after. I'll do a little bit afterwards. There are a few things I can show afterwards. Oh, come on! I might just do a jumping attack here. Hey, that worked. So the jumping attack is if you tap forward on the joystick and you hit the strong attack button, which is right trigger. If you hit those at the same time, you'll do that jumping attack. So again, to keep on hammering my point forward, the attacks are all about how you utilize them, not about the damage that they do. And the crystal lizard was not there again. I didn't really expect him to be, but it's always worth checking. So this is the death mechanic. You die, and as you noticed, I didn't have any souls when I respawned. And I didn't have my humanity either. So you go up to your seal there, your blood seal as it's called, and you pick it up. And you recover all of your souls and you recover all of your humanity. So that is why death is viewed as progress throughout the game, not only because you learn about it, but because you then have to go back there and you have to pick it up again to keep continuing forward. And if you pick it up, you gain all the souls that you dropped when you died, but you now have all the ones that you picked up again while going to get it. I personally like it. I think it's a great touch. However, if you don't pick up your blood seal and you die, you lose that stuff forever. The only blood seal you will ever be able to pick up is the one that happened from your last death, your previous one. So I will never be able to pick up a blood seal from 2 deaths ago or 3 deaths ago, only my most recent one. Which is one of the things that makes people feel like this game is very difficult. And in fact, yeah, that is one of the reasons why the game is very difficult. But you can make it easier on yourself. For instance, wearing the ring that I picked up earlier, the ring of sacrifice, because that will not make your blood seal disappear if you're wearing it like that. And see right there, because I didn't back away to where the gap was in the wall, and I stayed close to him, and I used the gold pine resin on my sword, the boss was an absolute chump. And yeah, that's generally how the game goes, though, is that each boss has a way that they're very difficult to fight, and each boss also has a way to fight where they're kind of a chump and you can beat them relatively easily. And it's up to you, the player, to figure a way out to make them easier. And for as difficult as the game is, all it requires is a little bit of commitment on the part of the player to make it easier. And that's not even counting the summoning that you can do, which I'll explain in a second, because we're going to meet a character here that will kind of explain it to us anyway. So if you see that bridge there, we're going to go behind the bridge here in this little area, and we're going to meet a very helpful NPC, and he's my favorite NPC in the entire game. I love this guy.
Hello. You don't look hollow, far from it. I am Soler of Astora, an adherent of the Lord of Sunlight. Now that I am undead, I have come to this great land, the birthplace of Lord Gwyn, to seek my very own son. You find that strange? Well, you should. No need to hide your reaction. I get that look all the time. Oh.
I mean, he's just such a cool guy.
I have a proposition.
So here we go. He has a proposition for us, and we're
The way I see
gonna hit yes.
Our fates appear to be intertwined. In a land brimming with hollows, could that really be mere chance? So what do you say?
I'm gonna say yes.
This pleases me greatly. Well then, take this.
So here we go. He gives us the white sign soapstone, and this is a very useful item for doing co-op. Now how co-op works, there are no menus for, say, having a party system and just inviting people from your friends list or anything like that. Instead, how the party system or co-op system works is you use the white sign soapstone to put a summoning sign on the ground where you're standing. And if somebody is in the area of the game where you are, they will see your sign on the ground and they will summon you into their game. And that is the only way to do it. Now, I'm not sure what the level discrepancy is for that. Like, I'm not sure, say you're a level 10, I'm not sure if there's a limit to how high level the people are that you can summon into your game, but I know that it's pretty damn lenient.
Father, if only I could be so grossly incandescent.
And that's one of the ways that you can make the game easier for yourself, by summoning people to help you with bosses and help you get through areas of the game. Now up ahead here there's a bridge, and you can see charred marks on the bridge, which are from this. And I was stupid enough to get hit by some of the fire. I should have known not to try to follow the dragon. That's the same dragon we met earlier, actually. So we're just going to keep going here. There's a little area to the side here we're going to go down, and there's a shortcut that we're going to activate. And there are lots of these shortcuts scattered throughout the game. So we're just going to kick this ladder down. And, yep, there we go. We're going to go down the ladder. And you should be able to recognize where we are. Oh, hey. Hey, it's this place. So, yeah, we don't have to go through that at all now. So, I guess that's going to be it for today. And I will see you guys next time, where I will show you how to get a cool item called the Drake Sword. Yeah, let that sink in. Let that name sink in. The Drake Sword. I'll see you guys next time.